Hi everyone, it's V here. I'm actually just going to top this episode with a content warning. We are talking about fears and phobias, and if you have a specific fear or a specific phobia that you just don't really want to hear right now, this might not be the episode for you. Assume that we cover something you're probably not going to like, because we cover things that we don't like. And if this isn't a good time for you to listen to these sorts of things or talk about them, you probably want to give this episode a miss. Otherwise... Yep, you can listen to us getting freaked out by things that freak us out and that generally upset and scare us. So, yeah. All right, folks, have a good one. Enjoy the episode if you can. If not, come back to it if and when you're ready. Bye. Everyone, welcome to Four Top Threes.
Hello.
I'm V.
Hello, V.
Hi.
I'm Cassie.
And you are? Yay! Who's after Cassie?
I refuse to. Oh no! No, you guys are awful at this.
We don't have
Hi.
an order. Hi.
Hi, podcast.
Hi, Neil.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Neil. And who's the grumpy one in the corner today?
My name's
It's
Aethel.
Aethel.
It's so. We need to choose an order, guys. Or V needs to introduce us. Either one, V. You have to choose.
Yeah, but if
V just point at us.
introduce, like, if I introduce, then it sounds like I'm hosting it. I'm only vaguely in control. I don't want to give over the illusion I'm
Aethel,
anywhere near in control of whatever this box
If you want
hell is.
to have control over this, maybe you should be hosting this.
No, this was
all right,
V's
let's
idea.
start this again. Okay, so everyone clap so that I can resync when we do the recording, just so I can know to cut the beginning out. You ready?
What is happening?
I thought it was
Hands up.
perfect.
Yeah,
Fuckers.
ready? 3, 2, 1, clap.
This is all staying in, right?
Okay, off you go. Off you go, Aethel.
It's your fucking job. Do it properly.
You're the host of
We've
this
done
now.
this phenomenally so
All
far.
right. Intro done.
Nailed it. Good job. So this week we are talking about our 4 top 3 fears as chosen by Neil. So the thing is, I don't know if you meant fears or
Yeah.
phobias.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
So
He did write fears. He did not write phobias.
yeah,
Well, I feel like,
but they're really close to each other.
I feel like a lot of fears that are reasonable to talk about on a podcast are phobias, because, I mean, no one wants to sit and listen to, like, me talk about existential dread for an hour. That's for my therapist that I don't have, that I need.
That's what we are here for.
Fears. This can be whatever, I guess. So, phobias, whatever you got. I mean, just, this isn't like a super serious.
No, no.
Just talk about. Don't be sad.
Just don't be sad. It's
Don't
easy.
be sad.
Maybe a little
Let's
scared.
talk about our fears.
Maybe a little scared. But
Okay. All right.
fears. Irrational.
Okay.
Sure, that counts. Phobias. We'll go for it. We can get specific later on some other things if we use similar topics. But
The thing is, I don't even know if the things I have a phobia name.
Oh, mine don't. Mine just absolutely don't. Like, I have, like, I decided, because I didn't know what we were doing, I decided to make 2 lists. One of, like, I am kind of scared of this, but without the existential horror, because people don't need to hear that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, a list of kind of phobias. So one is going to be a set of honorable mentions, and one is going to be what we use for the podcast.
All right, so
Guys, do you all need a hug?
So why don't you start
Yeah.
V, since you have such fancy lists?
Yeah, but I want to get the feel. So we go alphabetically. So,
Do
Aethel,
we?
how about we
Do
start
we?
with you?
Now we do.
This is... Aethel wanted a specific order, so this is my specific order now.
In the
Aethel.
intro, I feel like I'm not asking for much. My 3 top fear, whatever. It's the lamest one. It's the one that like I think almost all of humanity shares. It's the fear of heights.
Yeah, that sucks. Heights are bad to be in.
I'm not like deathly afraid of heights, which is a plus because I enjoy roller coasters a lot. But there are roller coasters that are literally just about going really high up and then just dropping and shit like that. And those, I don't enjoy them, and I come out just a mess. So, yeah.
See, I'm very much the other way around. I have a really bad fear of heights. It for many reasons. I didn't used to be scared of heights at all. I would like climb to the top of ladders and I'd put like fucking lights up in shows and stuff. And now I'm just like, nope, don't do ladders. Don't want to do this. I don't want to go up high. Like climbing up to the top, was it the cathedral in Reykjavik? I'm like, nope, I don't like this. I'm not looking down on this. This is terrifying. But I love those roller coasters where you get really high and then you drop. I love those. They're so fun.
But I don't know, what is it? You're trusting the machine? I mean, how scared do you get on airplanes? Like looking out a window? Are you chill or like you have to have a window closed?
Like, no, I'm fine. Like when we take off, it's like a little bit nervous. When we're landing, a little bit nervous. They're the times when you're most likely to get fucked when you're in a plane. But we took off fine and we land fine, so great. No worry over that. Other than that, I'm fine.
Turbulence and the upholstery gets to feel it.
Yes, that gets to feel my fear. Otherwise, I'm okay.
I'm pretty okay if I'm in a plane, just because, I don't know. I guess I trust statistics.
Yes.
I don't believe that the plane will crash because the odds are so low, I guess.
Yeah, maths.
Yeah, a friend of mine wanted to go to Australia for a year, but he didn't want to, he was afraid of getting eaten by sharks there. But they like looked at a statistic that said like only 2 people get eaten by sharks in a year in Australia. Yeah. And then they looked up how many got eaten in that year, and they were like, "Oh, okay, the quota has been filled. You can go."
That's not how that works. Okay.
That's not how any of this works.
Okay. Yeah. I go visit my buddy down in Austin every now and then. It's a little drive, and he's staying on the 4th floor of an apartment complex. And it's kind of a real small patio that you go out on, you know? And it's like that balcony that overhangs all the other balconies, and it has the railing. I hate those. And we go out there for smoke breaks. And I can't. I have to sit down. I have to sit down against the glass because I can't stand next to the railing. I don't want to look off of it. Balconies get me.
Is it one of those like super thin balconies where you like really like you can't put 2 people side by side?
You can put 2 people side by side. He has like a chair or 2 out there. It'd be crowded. Okay. It's kind of wider than it is shallow, I would say. It's got a sliding door. But it is small, and on all sides you step out. I mean, it's not like you've got like when I lived in San Diego, we had a balcony we would sit out on, but it had walls on either side, and then one of the walls was the open.
One of the sides was like
air.
open.
Yeah. This one is stepping out off of the rest of the building onto this balcony, and all sides are very high up, and it is scary. No. Yeah, can't do balconies.
Not okay with that. All right, I'm gonna sidetrack one of my favorite like at heights stories, and it is to do with roller coasters. So I did the Tower of Terror when I was in one of the big parks. It was either the Mouse Park or the other park that's like really close, Warner Brothers. And you get in the Tower of Terror and you get strapped into your little seat, and then they take you up and they bounce you up and down because, the elevator's broken. And the guy next to me was so scared. He was unbelievably terrified and shaking as he got on, but he wanted to do it because his girlfriend was next to him and trying to show off. Oh. And he was so scared throughout. His hand clamped down on my knee and wouldn't let go. His hand was just like gripping me. His knuckles had gone white, and I was so shocked that this random dude dragged my neck. And I was also screaming because it was fun. I just looked down at this guy, and he was like, "I'm sorry."
That's
It was
funny.
great.
I like roller coasters.
yeah.
I don't know why I trust those two.
Yeah, me too.
You know, statistically.
Because solid engineering went into those, and the financial
I
fallout
guess.
from fucking up is extreme.
But then that's not to say that the people who built that balcony fucked that up. I just, you know.
But they haven't had to look at that balcony for 20 years.
So yeah, fear of heights. It's definitely a common one. It is not exactly on my list of honorable mentions, but it is on there. It's a good one.
That's a
I
real
don't-
one. That's
I don't
logical.
have a lot
That's
of
not a phobia.
I don't have a lot of fun fears to talk about, so number 3 was always going to be a dud.
Okay, all right. Well, we're looking forward to the real meat and potato of your fears.
Oh no,
Yeah, okay.
his fear. He's afraid of meat and potatoes.
I wonder how many
God,
people,
I'm sorry.
what percentage of people genuinely are not afraid of heights? Because for a long point in my life, I would say that I wasn't afraid of heights as a young person.
I feel like I'm not exactly afraid of heights, but like I respect them. That's
Do
like
you-
a better way to phrase it, in my opinion. I'm like, okay, I respect your height.
When you look off the side of a balcony, does your stomach do the drop thing?
Ooh,
No.
I
What
just
kind of
shiver.
balcony?
I get the shiver and I have to like back it, sit down.
Wait, when you look up at the balcony?
I feel weak.
Down off a
Down.
balcony. Do you not get like a
No.
little drop in your stomach?
No.
So I didn't used to get the drop in the stomach, but then I just remembered this because Neil was talking about like a similar thing. I climbed one of the mountains here in Vestmannaeyjar, and one side of the mountain is just a straight down cliff. We're talking like 200 meters just straight down. And I climbed the mountain, and then I crawled up to the edge of the cliff. I didn't even stand. I just crawled up and I peeked over the side, and my stomach dropped, and it has dropped ever since. Every time I look down tall heights.
Yeah, I don't know.
I-
Can it be circumstantial and context based? You know, like I don't.
Maybe. I'm not afraid of ladders, and I've fallen on ladders. Like I'll stand
Yes,
on
you
top
have.
of like a 4-meter high ladder. I'd just be fine.
Nope, fuck that. 100% fuck that. I'm out. Like, no way.
Okay, it's more 3
Fuck that.
meters. I think 4 meters is like where I draw the line, and my body starts shaking.
Oh, my body starts shaking. Like, if I'm like more than a couple of feet up, I'm like, no, I'm not okay with this.
On
I
step
don't know how
2.
far I am from the ground.
It might be like depending on like the circumstances that you look down on, like how stable the ground is and how safe you feel in your environment. Like the looking down the mountain thing. I mean, it can happen that the cliff just suddenly falls off or whatever.
It's a lot more likely that my ladder breaks than the mountain itself gives out. Like, let's put it like that.
But nature is pretty much you cannot predict it. Like there could be an earthquake or something, and you like while you're looking down, and you could just fall off because the earth is shaking. Like that's something you cannot predict. I mean, the same thing can happen with a ladder, but
Thank you.
it will be, but it would be a much shorter fall than like than from down a
Looking down a cliff.
Yeah.
I get you.
And also, like, if you're standing on a ladder, then you're usually like you're not freestanding. There's usually something you can maybe hold on to.
Oh, I have to do freestanding all the time because I work with lights.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can still hold on to the electrical cords if you want to.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna fucking hold me up. No, I'm the one who put those things up. I know how unsecure it is.
I know how bad of a job I did. Don't test me. Well, that's a cool one. Kessie, because
Yeah.
we're doing alphabet.
Oh,
Yeah.
So my third fear, my third on the list of fears is pyrophobia, which is something I have, but it is very mild.
Fear of fire.
Fire.
Yes. But I haven't been able to exactly pinpoint why I have it or like what the extent of it is. Like I'm totally fine standing next to a bonfire, but I cannot, for some reason, I cannot light a lighter. I can light matches though. For some reason, I managed to do that. Something I have like while we were thinking about the topics, the things for our list. I was going through my fears and I realized I don't have many fears because I have a challenging nature, and something that I tend to do is when I realize I'm afraid of something is that I try to actively fight against it. That is why when I realized I had pyrophobia, I actually started using matches because my hands are much further away from the fire than they are with a lighter.
Huh.
I see the logic in that.
Like, I'm terrified of a lighter because this thing of the thumb is just like so close to the fire. That's like, I'm terrified of that. But like with a match, I have like, I don't know, 30 seconds before it reaches my fingers. I can still think about what I want to do in that time.
So
And I'm done with this. Throw it away.
I remember having that similar fear when I was a kid. I was afraid of lighters, and my dad basically forced me to turn on a lighter like 2 or 3 times, and it completely disappeared.
No, I cannot do it. I don't know why. Maybe I'm clumsy with my fingers or whatever. Especially the ones that have like this thing that you need to turn, like the ones where you just
the flint part.
press. They are okay. I still don't like them, but yeah, but the ones with a wheel, they are my nemesis. No.
I get this. This is a phobias episode. We might have to name this a phobias episode because Cassie, you're not even afraid of like bonfires and fires that can like get out of control. You're scared of Bic lighters.
I mean, I will still keep my distance from bonfires, but like as soon like I can go get like within 2 meters of them, and I'll be fine. But I don't know. I don't like getting any closer. I don't want to be there when it's being lighted.
I if anything, I have the opposite of a phobia. Like, I absolutely love fire.
You just jump through the fire.
I've done that. We had a big old campfire. So during Thility, there's a big fucking campfire at the end of the first night, and when they bring all the pallets up there to be set up the fire, the leftover pallets, the ones that are too broken to be actually stacked, they get put aside and they get burnt like a week before. And I got invited to one of those fires, and at one point during the night, the guys were like running and jumping over the fire, and I joined in because I absolutely love fire. I
mean, I have friends that do that too. I'm just not doing that.
Come on, Cassie.
No. I'm with Cassie on this. Fuck no.
You gotta face your fears. You gotta get over it.
If someone were to give you a gift, a very lovely candle.
Fire.
Candle.
That would be a bad gift, huh?
No.
Would it?
I mean, it depends. I did have candles a long time ago, but like I collected them, but it was usually like I didn't never burn them. It was just like, you know, I had candles that had like different colors, different shapes or whatever. But I just didn't burn them because it feels like it's a waste to burn them.
It also is 2021 and we know that we can put a candle of, what are the things called? They might be called different things in different countries. The things where you put
LED
a light
lights?
bulb underneath them and it heats the wax and you can get the smell out of the wax that way with a light bulb.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
the little melty wax.
I know what you're chatting about.
Light bulb
I used to have
stands.
one of those.
They're
I used to have a little dragon-looking one.
Really?
Yeah.
I
and they smell so good.
I don't know if we have those in Iceland.
I have literally never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, so.
It's, those, the things that you put a tea light in, inside, and then the top pan will like melt like a oil, or an incense or something like that. It's the same thing, but just with wax, and it has a setup for a light bulb to go inside, and the heat from the light bulb just melts the wax, and then you can reuse the wax and all of that. So it's like a candle alternative that uses electricity, so it's better for no one.
Less fire hazard,
except Cassie.
For Cassie, it's good for Cassie.
Perfect for Cassie.
So we all have established that basically this podcast is a way for us to get free gifts. So send Cassie these things.
Send me candles.
Establish that?
Send me the light bulb where you can melt wax over the top in a dish.
This is the wrong episode. We're saying things we're scared of, and people are going to send them to us.
I'm terrified of gifts. Don't send me anything.
No, specifically electronic one, not the cat, not one with fire, guys.
I know what you're gonna get, and you're gonna get a box full of it. Your number one fear.
Oh no!
I know what goes in V's number one, so it's extra funny to me.
No, Neil, what have you got?
There's only one good number one answer, so let's just put that out there.
Neil, what have you got in your third position or in your collection?
So one day, I was in an airplane, and it was really high up in the air, and it went over the ocean a little ways. And the ocean's very big, and that's very scary to me.
Are you scared of the ocean?
It's very big, and there's a lot of it, and it goes deep, and it's kind of like being afraid of heights, but different, because the height is water
in a different direction.
and not air. But yeah.
It's the concave version of being afraid of heights.
Have you played Subnautica? That game will awaken something in you that you didn't know was there. It's very scary.
Yeah, I
There's
genuinely
that
get
shiver.
that like
Yeah.
feeling when you can't put your feet on the ground.
Wait, what?
Like your toes, like I'm okay with like the very tippy of your toe, like just a tiny bit can touch the ground. Yes, I'm okay with that.
in the
but
ocean
any
when you're in the
deeper than that,
water.
I'd be like,
Okay.
yeah. Any deeper than that, I'm like, nah. In swimming pools, I'm fine. I don't care how deep it is. I know there's a ground. I know I'm not going to drown. I know there's lifeguards. But fuck the sea. Fuck that. Fuck that big like oceany bullshit.
Now
that's
let me
going
get
on.
something straight.
no.
The ocean is rad. There's a lot of cool shit in it, and most of it is in the shallow water because it's coral, and that's cool. And the rest of it, most of the rest of it, is so scary and uncontrollable, and also mysterious.
If you want to know the worst thing about deep ocean facts, you need to look up the reproductive cycle of the anglerfish. I'm not gonna explain it. Just if you want to read like the absolute worst the animal kingdom does, that one is it. Like the deep sea thing.
Yeah.
It's
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so fucked up.
If someone were like, "Hey Neil, there's this really cool submarine," and I would, submarines don't crash because of statistics or whatever, I wouldn't get in it. I have this above the airplane thing. I trust airplanes. Would not trust a submarine, no matter the statistic, no matter engineers, no matter how safe. Don't care. It's too much. You don't go down there. It's not for you.
I was just going to bring that up. I had that experience with the fear, like this disrespectfulness of like the deepness of water when I was in the yellow submarine in Israel, which goes down like it is the yellow submarine that the Beatles sing about. I think it was.
Mhm.
It goes down, I think 100 meters into the water, and you can just look around there.
That's cool.
Like it's super cool. It's like just a submarine that has like seatings on both sides, so you can look out. And
I don't know meters.
You don't know.
Hang on, I'll translate.
Like
Hang on.
120 feet or something
on.
stupid like that.
Okay, that's not. If I can, I don't know. I don't know what my limit is on it, but the ocean is very big and very scary. I can look
But
at it; it's pretty. I can see it from the shore, but I could get in boats. Boats are cool, but I don't want to not be in the boat. I will be scared of the railway guard. Like I'll feel like that's the balcony of heights for me. I won't go near it because that's where the scary stuff is that I don't like. The endless ocean of
basically you don't like
mystery and
vertical
death.
distance.
I don't like
Vertical
the
distance.
ocean.
Up
It's
or
too
down?
big. There's too much of it.
One plane of existence. Let's not have this Z axis or Y axis where the fuck is now. Fuck that. Just X.
So when I was studying, when you work as a fisherman, you have to go do a safety thing, and one of the things is you have to learn how to deal with being in the ocean if there's an accident. And we were put
I'll
into
learn
like
at the moment.
you're put into this like suit that is completely sealed, watertight, completely, and it's got like little rubber things around your hands and around your neck because you need to have your fingers out. And part of it was like, do not try to stand up, lie on your back. And I will admit this, while we were sitting in the ocean, like our backs just against the water, your head's just barely above, your toes are kind of standing up, there was a small part of me that was really scared that something would just grab my hips and pull me down and I would just never come up again.
Ooh.
There was just
Tentacle
that
monsters.
No, Cassie, no.
I remember when I was first playing Subnautica, I didn't like. I knew that I'm scared of big water, but like I thought it'd be cool. you know? And I'm playing Subnautica, and I'm playing this first bit of this game, the part where you don't need a lot to go real deep. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'm real deep. And so I'm swimming around in this scary grass. 'Cause it's scary. And oh my God, things in the water are scarier because they've stayed in the water. Like grass, I'm not scared of grass, but if grass is in the water, ew. I don't like seaweed and stuff. No. Ooh. It's so scary. Ooh. And so I'm just kind of like enjoying myself in the shallows, really. And I go over close to, if you play Subnautica, like where the ship is, and I think like the back end of it, it drops off, and that's pretty close to the spawn area, right? And I dropped off, and you could see the engines, and I realized that, oh, this is still the map, and oh, I can go down there, and oh, I'm just like free swimming, and I can't see anything around me anymore because I swam, you know, off the side of the safety cliff, and I was like, oh no, this game is scary. And then there's bad guys out there that are scary.
Have you ever been to that website that does where you just scroll down and it will tell you at this, like you have scrolled this much meters down below. At this point, there's these fish, and then you can scroll on for like half an hour and still have not reached the bottom.
The worst.
I actually almost made my diver's license at one point in Israel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I had to drop out at on the last day because I had a ear issue and I couldn't dive anymore. And it was unfortunately the last day before we flew back home, so I couldn't finish it, unfortunately.
You mentioned this in another episode.
Oh yeah, probably about the dolphins, because it was in the dolphin reef in Israel.
Yes.
Yep.
I remember seeing cuttlefish like back then for the first time, and it was like super huge, and I was like, what is that fish? It has eyes and tentacles. I don't like this. And I couldn't describe it properly because I was like, I don't know, 10 years old or something. I couldn't describe it to my teacher. I was like, it was a fish that had this big of an eye. And my teacher was like,
Beats me, kid.
When you see those videos of the boats that are going through the storms, the big crate boats, what do you call them? The shipping?
Cargo boats?
You know. Yeah, like the Suez Canal one. Cut that because that'll date this episode. But hey.
It's already like many months away now, so like you're dating our episodes very weirdly.
You're right. I'm
this episode is coming out on Halloween.
Oh. Yeah, they fixed the canal, y'all. God. They fixed it.
Spoiler alert.
If
in
you're
case you
listening to
haven't
this
heard
in
of
the
it
past.
yet. Newsflash. They fixed it.
When you see those shipping containers and the waves and stuff and the storms get intense, that's scary too.
I mean, they sometimes just drop cargo, so
that's scary.
All the cargo that was lost.
Oh,
you have no control out there. Mother Nature does, and the ocean does.
I'm going to tell you the scary boat story I have, which is standing on a tugboat in the middle of Westminster Harbour as they crane a beluga whale from a truck to the back of the boat.
Yep.
And as they put the whale down, the entire boat sways and rocks as a wave also hits, and I think, fuck, we're gonna die. And then watching as we get out to where we're dropping off the belugas, watching them do that in reverse as they pick up this fucking whale and drop it in, and the entire boat shifts and rocks because the moment they release that weight, the whole boat is like ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. Terrifying, dude.
You're all gonna die, but the beluga is gonna be fine.
Ferries make me nervous a bit. They do. Not gonna lie.
They make me too sick to be nervous, honestly. I am seasick unbelievably.
Me too.
I hate it.
That was the reason I wanted to make a diver's license, actually, because I'm actually fine underwater, but not over water.
Yeah, same. Like, because the pool that we have for the belugas is like 4 meters deep or something ridiculous like that. And every time I look over, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. So I walk as like close to the wall as possible, which is where they hang all their shit. So you have to walk around and get really close to the water anyway.
Oh, no.
But like, in the water, I'm fine. I will happily do like dive down as far as I can, sort of thing. When you're in a diving pool, I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with jumping off of diving boards into proper pools, but like just standing at the edge, I'm okay. Thank you. I'm not good with that.
No, you know what sucks? And as I'm just realizing that I've had this fear, I've listed extremes during this, right? Like but I've had this same fear reading an article about like a training swimming pool for divers. Where it's a swimming pool and then there's a big hole in it. And I'm like, no, that's too much.
No!
I was like, I can't see the bottom of that. Ah!
But that is scary because the walls are all around you.
Oh,
Yep. What if they just put a lid on top?
cave diving. Cave diving is nightmarish. Why would people do that?
I know, but that's a different thing. If
that.
someone's got claustrophobia, good time, because that's a big claustrophobia.
No.
That's
Dude,
cave diving is the scariest thing.
I'm literally the opposite of claustrophobic. I enjoy being in small, compressed spaces. It just does something in my brain.
That's why you're in that recording studio room.
I can be pretty claustrophobic, but I think I could go through a regular cave if there wasn't a certain thing in it, which we'll go over later. But
tentacle monsters.
All right. Quite enough of this. My number 3 fear. I have a fear that I will accidentally fuck up at work, not know that I have fucked up, and accidentally maim or injure one of my companions. I'd feel like such a tool if I did that. Like, I gave you advice, and it was wrong, because I don't know what I'm doing, and everyone thinks I know what I'm doing, and I don't. So that's one of my fears.
Aww.
My fears is just fucking up irreparably at work in a way that will actually hurt someone. Okay, the animals, yes, slightly concerned about, but not as much as hurting the people. Like, that's my fear. I have practical fears. I have so many phobias, I'm not even going to start listing that shit. Like, they will affect me in various ways, so I'm just going to go down the straight up fear line.
That's fair.
So your third biggest fear is a work-related faux pas.
Yes.
So like you're walking down the hallway and you slip and you fall with your face in a pie. Like that would be like, oh no.
No, I mean more like, I said it was totally fine to, drill a hole through this part of the wall, and the guy does it, and then water sprays out from the hole and electrocutes all the animals around us. Like, I don't know. Like, that's my point. I don't know what I don't know, and it's terrifying. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I need training. You'll be fine. Carry on with it. That's my fear. That's my worry.
You're afraid of betraying your responsibilities or something like that, right?
Yes, basically. I have taken on too much, and no one will listen to me when I say it. It's too much. Because these are animals that we're looking after, and I don't want to see them hurt. I'm not a huge animal fan, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to do anything to do with their care or shit. But also, if I do something and fuck up, and for example, I don't know, so we use like ozone and UV lights to like filtrate the water for the belugas. And like, if I say, yeah, that thing you're doing, top notch, perfect, keep doing it. And because I said that, they believed me, and something happens and the whales died, I would be fucking devastated. So yeah, I have like a real big, like, every time someone asks me for an opinion, I'm like, I think he'll be fine. But I can't say it like that, because like they need to look at me when I sometimes say, no, you have to do this. So yeah, I guess that's one of my fears.
Aww. He needs a hug.
I mean, I don't have that, like, when I'm asked for opinions fear, but I do have that lingering fear because I work with electricity. Like, when I walk away from a job, there's that small nagging voice in the back of my head, like, did you do it right? Are you gonna see this house in cinders at one day and wonder to yourself, the fuck did I do?
I remember when you helped me out with my electricity at home. You kept calling me, especially like when I connected the things for the bunnies. You were like, Cassie, you're not going to live with the bunnies now, are you?
Yes, I remember those conversations.
Yes.
And when I connected the light in my room, you were like, Cassie, if you have a fear, call me. Immediately call me, please.
I'm deathly afraid that my electric work will burn down a house one day. And I have never been like, I've never caught myself doing anything that would have been a catastrophe if left uncaught. I have always done everything right, or I've done it wrong in such a way that like all the safety systems will always catch it. Like there was nothing I could have done, but there's still that tiny part of my brain which is just like, did that screw maybe accidentally pierce the insulation and now it's slowly letting heat sink into the walls, which in turn might eventually make it calcify and turn it into something flammable, and then the entire fucking wall will just catch fire.
You're not in America, so you're fine.
There are still shit walls around here.
Oh no.
Yes, I can attest to that. Well, there's one of my consistent nagging worries and fears throughout my life. Ethel, what's the second on your list?
It's a bit of a story, but I'll try to summarize it pretty well. When I was doing my kind of master's degree for electricity, during my first set of tests, I go in with my MP3 player because I need music to concentrate. And as I get in and I plug the headphones in, the test master, or whatever the fuck you want to call that, puts their hand on my MP3 player and goes like, do you have a permission for this? And I'm like, what do you mean? And like, you're not allowed to listen to anything if you don't have a permission for it. It's just like, oh. And they take my MP3 player and my headphones away. And I genuinely, that set of tests I did worse on because I didn't have something to kind of like ease my mind. My mind gets really weird when it's completely left alone, and I need very rhythmic music to kind of get it on track. I always listen to rhythmic music when I'm studying. I can't do it otherwise. So I think about it, and I'm like, what can I do to get headphones into the tests? I know. I'll lie that I have tinnitus. It's a symptom where you have like a ringing sound in your ear.
Tinnitus.
And
Tinnitus.
Not tinnitus?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. No. That's a mixture of something else and tinnitus. Tinnitus. Fucking hell.
Wait, so say the one that I was lying about.
Tinnitus?
Tinnitus?
Tinnitus. I'm
tinnitus?
Anyway, I'm going.
It sounds like tetanus and tinnitus. You don't have that.
Tinnitus. Yes. So I go to my school like counselor or whatever, and I go, oh, I have tinnitus, and it's really hard for me to focus on the tests when because I don't have something to overpower it. Because every time I said like, oh, I want my music to like kind of help me, they always offered me earbuds, earplugs. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, no, that's going to do the opposite of what I need. And the doctor, the counselor says, oh, yeah, no, sure. Just go to the ear doctors, get yourself diagnosed, and we'll let you work. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to lie to a doctor. Fuck it. And I go to a doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, okay, so what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I hear this like constant ringing, and I need a thing for tests, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Since you're here anyway, and you had to pay for the counseling, I'm going to like do an ear test on you. So we're going to test your left and your right ears and like how low and high you hear and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. And I get in, and my first thought was like, am I supposed to lie now? Like, do I need to lie about my left ear, which I said had like a little bit of like ringing in it? Nah, I'll just be real. I'll just do it perfectly, and like he won't not give me like I don't believe that's gonna fuck me. Anyway, I do the thing, and then I leave, and the guy's, like, looking at a little chart that he has, and he's like, yeah, I can see, like, turns it around, and, like, there's a curve, and there's a giant dip in the middle of the curve, and he's like, yeah, this is probably what's causing it. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, there's a frequency which you're completely deaf to. What? I'm sorry, what? It's like, yeah, that's probably what's causing it. And it's on both ears, but you only have ringing in your left ear. I'm like, now I wish I'd said both. No, yeah, it's only on the left. Well, that's like unusual, but not unheard of. So anyway, here, let me write it out. And in that moment, I realized I am deathly afraid of going deaf. I am
no.
horribly afraid of going deaf. It would absolutely remove me from so many social things I do and enjoy. And I am so afraid of it. And I am hard of hearing. I have a hard time understanding spoken language, even if I hear it. I have to focus. And
Same though.
I get this scared feeling that I might be going deaf, and I don't realize it because I have this other thing which makes it hard for me to focus on spoken words. So it's like, it scares me, and I don't like it. And it was in that moment when he turned that fucking chart around. It was like, yeah, you're deaf on this fucking frequency. It was like, when did that fucking happen?
Summer. That's when that happened, Dale.
Not to be surprised. Oh yeah,
Maybe
I expected
you should go
something
see
to be wrong for sure. What?
maybe you should go see a different doctor just to confirm that. Maybe his devices were broken or something.
Yeah, surely your shit's broken, dude.
I mean, it can happen if it's on
This
both
is like a
ears.
sitcom. This is like the zany character in a sitcom.
I
The
swear to
story
God,
you've told.
it genuinely fucking happened. I was shocked when the fucker showed it to me. I was not happy. So yeah, that's mine.
I don't think it helps that when I'm sick, I also mumble very heavily. And I find it exceptionally frustrating that people don't understand me when I think I'm speaking completely clearly and I'm not. They're like, no. You didn't say the word you thought you did. You changed the letters over and you're mumbling. I'm like, I don't understand. No, that's not what I said. And then Aether was like, oh yeah, I have like problems hearing and clear spoken language. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to do well for us.
It's fine. When you're sick, I ignore you.
You just give her a soup and a blanket and maybe a tea or something and tuck her in bed and done.
I need painkillers. You're fine, babe. I called your work. I told them you're sick. Painkillers. I love you too.
He also does that just to fuck with me, so fuck you.
So my sister made fun of me in a near moment of crisis the other week. Pretty recently here. I was watching something on my phone, probably going through Twitter or something. And sitting in the living room, Danielle's walking through the room. And I just have my glasses here, and I'm kind of like combing my hair with them, with the how do I visual put this in? With the earpiece
The thing
of
that
my
goes over the ear?
glasses. Yeah, I'm just kind of like scratching something. And I'm like scratching my ear, and I'm getting my ear. And then I drop my glasses, and the earpiece goes up, and the part that holds like over your ear goes like up ways into my ear.
No!
It makes an actual pain happen. And I go, oh no. Yeah, that was scary because actual like pain for a while. No blood or anything, but I was very concerned. Mm-hmm. And I've just been like going crazy about it for the last couple of weeks.
Did you say your sister teased you about it?
I was going, ow, why don't you feel bad for me? And she was just like, you're stupid. Don't put your glasses in your ear. And I was like, it felt good and I wasn't paying attention. Just scratching myself. I was like, this hurts and I could be hurt. And I was serious. I was like, fuck, I might have hurt my hearing. Like,
you know, that thing I care a lot about.
You're not supposed to fuck up like I've done. And my sister's just like shaking her head and like not concerned. I'm like trying to figure out if I'm bleeding out of my ear or not. And my sister's just nonchalantly pouring a Dr. Pepper and shaking her head at me. And I'm like, hey, it was an accident. Okay. It's not like I was doing something extremely reckless.
You weren't going at your sister like, hey, watch me do this.
Hey, look at this stunt.
Look at how far into my ear I can put my glasses.
Don't do this at home.
No, I dropped them. Damn it.
But Aether, to get back to what you said earlier, like not understanding, like being hard of hearing and not understanding people. I have that too. And because I have that, I, for the longest part, had a terrible fear of picking up the phone and talking to people on the phone. just generally,
Oh.
because I was afraid, I could never understand people on the phone. I was just like, yeah. I just randomly laughed when I heard a voice. I was like, yeah. I don't know. I just gave a response. I had no idea what they were saying. Just for the sake of satisfying them. I could not understand people on the phone. And like when they talked to me, like I often had to ask 3-4 times to really hear what people said. So
I think this shows that difference in characters. I do have that too, but I just go like, you're going to have to speak louder and clearer, dude. You just need to speak louder and clearer, dude.
yeah.
I'm sorry, your phone's shit and I can't understand you. Send me a text message.
All right, Cassie,
Oh, no.
what have you got?
It's me again.
Yeah, it's a you.
So one of my fears on my list is actually the fear of public speaking, which is ironically how I got into podcasting. Because as I said earlier, I have a challenging nature and I like to push myself to get out of those spots. So when I was in school, I always had trouble speaking in public, and I eventually joined the audio drama community to, try to battle that by trying to become a voice actor. And after I got cast in Whitewalled, a year later we were on stage, so I guess it worked. I really have nothing more to say than that I have that fear of public speaking, and I fought against it. So
Was there any moment in your childhood where it got triggered real fucking heavy, and your brain realized it was a fear?
Every time we had to do a presentation in school.
Ah, okay.
Which happened a lot, and every time we had to do it, no. It just, I don't know, shit came out. I mean, I still, I don't have that fear, still, but part of my problem is that as you can hear, I cannot form a proper sentence, a single one. It comes out haltingly, and I stutter a lot, and it's in part because I never really grew up with a parent that taught me German, and neither did I have someone to teach me English. I just kind of learned very broken German and English, so language does not come easy to me. So I have this fear of public speaking, and I'm constantly trying to battle against it.
Well, I've heard you on both Whitewalled and Counterbalance, and you sound good in those. So
because I have scripts.
you clearly can make yourself understood.
Yeah, when I have scripts.
Yes, and you're we had the greatest time when we were doing not physio. Oh god, Tari's backstory.
Yeah,
I could hear the nervousness and the broken speech, but it made no difference. I understood exactly what you were talking about, and it was very fun playing with you because I'm like, God, I have someone else who kind of stutters when they're nervous. I'm like, yes, someone gets this shit.
We just stuttered in unison. Yay!
Yes, and people love it. It's fine.
I know.
We're understood.
I know it's fine. I get let off the hook a lot because I'm not a native speaker, so I'm pulling that part hard. I'm
oh yeah.
I don't English. I'm not here to sentence.
It feels like a cheat code. You get away with so much shit.
I know. I have this problem that I cannot find the right word, so I've gotten pretty good at circumscribing what the fuck I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I'm finding out learning Icelandic. I'm finding I'm having to do that as well. So sometimes rather than because I don't know the words yet, I have to describe it with the words that I know. Or if I know the complete opposite, I just have to go eki whatever the word is, this but the opposite. But I know that's not what eki means, but I know that people might understand what I'm talking about. The little kids have no chance with me, but some adults I've got half a chance with. So it's getting there.
Well,
oh man,
when you're playing the games where you have to get people to guess words, but you're not allowed to say that word, people go so let's say you're supposed to say wet. People go, get dry, but wet. You wait for the other person to say wet. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
No, you don't. Please cut this.
I don't know what the word for wet or dry is. Ekki Sir.
I read
maybe
that
not the C.
Icelandic is one of the harder ones to do direct translations on like word for word basis because contexts don't exactly like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Context is really important.
Yeah.
Like you also can't say like the strangest one that I learned and just consistently stuck in my head because it's so weird to me is like you can't say you have a big nose. You have to say you are with a big nose.
Aw.
And it all has to be in the right context depending on whether it's I don't know. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, you don't have a big nose. You are with a big nose. That's just how we word it. And it means you have a big nose, but we say you are with a big nose. Like.
Yes.
It's just how we structure the sentence.
It's very strange.
I mean, every language is different in how it thinks of a sentence structure. So,
well, for me, the thing that still really blows my mind is that people have more than one name. Like,
we do not have more than one name.
I used to be able to say, you do. You have a million different ways of saying Aethel in Icelandic. Whereas I know. Like, I used to be able to go, oh, this person, their name is important. Get the name right. Like, that's the one thing about them that doesn't change. And then you go into Icelandic and their name fucking changes. So I have no chance, Aethel.
It's the best way to describe it is that English has a possessive noun or something like that. So when Cassie is called Cassie, but when we say Cassie has something, it's Cassie's with an extra S. Yeah, well, we just do that more, and it's also more variety. It's still the same fucking name. We're just adding and turning and twisting it.
No. You're not just adding. That is crap. There are names that do not just add. I said turning and twisting too. I said turning and twisting too. I do know there are some words, some names that literally only still have the first letter the same, and then everything else after the first letter has changed. But they're the exception.
So what would your name be?
Aethor. Aethors. So it has an S.
Oh.
Instead of an R.
Okay.
So I have...
It's declination of the name, like a noun.
Yeah,
like, Latin noun declination, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But with names.
See, that I understand. I did Latin. That I understand.
Well, then you should ace Icelandic.
Oh, no.
Next week on the linguistics show.
Sorry, Neil.
We're all scared of language. What was the sphere? I'm lost.
Cassie was afraid of
public speaking. Yes. Okay. That's where the language is. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I do have one thing to say about
that.
I do have one thing to say about public speaking. I didn't know fear of public speaking was a thing until like my late young adult, like until like I think 15 or 16, just before I in Iceland graduated elementary school. I genuinely didn't
know
realize
the fear. That the fear existed.
I didn't know people got spooked about being on stage or being in front of a crowd of people. I got the tickling in the stomach, the excitement and the like, oh, I don't want to fuck up. But that's the same you get when you're taking a test. And that's not public speaking. You just get nervous.
Yeah.
And I did not know. So every Christmas we do school acting thingies. Like every class does a little school show. I did not know most of the girls were nervous wrecks during those things. And it wasn't until like I'm about to graduate elementary school that like somebody tells me like, Aethor, you need to calm the fuck down. You're freaking everybody else out. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, you're nervous. And they're like, no, we're not nervous. We're scared, Aethor. Just like, terrified. No, you're just nervous. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be on stage in like 5 seconds. And then the nerve goes away, No, the nerve does not go away, Aethor. Well, you're wrong.
Yeah. Ooh. That can be like a dread. That one, I feel that one. I just want to not exist. I just want to run and be anywhere else. Run away from in the moment before I get up and like try to do a public speak. I'm like, oh, if I could, maybe I'll.
I don't even understand why
See-
everyone has to public speak. Like, there are definitely people in a class that can public speak, and there's people that can't. Why do you make the people that can't public speak publicly? Why?
I can get in my car and drive real far, probably, and then I wouldn't have to do this speech. And I could-
Oh no, Neil, did I wake
See,
something within
I'm
you?
much more like I'm much more comfortable on a stage when I am not following somebody else's script. Like, so reading or performing someone's script makes me so nervous. Like, there is something in the pit of my stomach that makes me want to throw up. So I get over that by asking if everybody else is okay, so I can panic over somebody else's panic instead of my own. And that's how I've learned to cope. But I found that if I have to do public speaking, or because I do a lot of training now, so I have to stand up with authority. So I realize if I don't have a script, I'm fine. If I have a bunch of bullet points, I'm fine. But if you're performing with other people and it's their script, you probably shouldn't ad-lib right in the middle of it. I'm also shit at remembering lines, and I always fuck it up. So I would much rather just go on stage with some bullet points and ad-lib or like fucking improvise my way through it. I'm a lot less nervous versus here's a script, read it. Oh god, that's when I'm just like, nope, I don't want to do any of this. Fuck this. God no. I guess next then it's Neil.
All right. Okay. We've been through this one before. On another show. I'm not sure how.
Oh no.
I'm not sure how. Like where I've told the story. It's probably an AMA or something. So it's story time.
Everyone, listeners, get popcorn.
When I was young, I think about like 10 to 13ish. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere around in there. My sister and I were at our grandparents' house because that's where we always were. While mom and dad were off of work, grandparents picked us up from school. Mom and dad worked a little bit longer, came pick us up later that night. And so we were getting ready to leave the house, waiting on grandparents and mom to, do their talking, and they would leave. Danielle and I are in the backyard, and we're playing a game of tag. And I run and hide behind a tree. And I get right up on this tree. So I'm like hiding behind this tree. And something's wrong with the tree. And I'm like, what? And my eyes focus on the tree.
Are you leaning up against the tree?
No, thank fuck I wasn't. No, nearly. I'm facing the tree, right? But I'm kind of like if you were to hide and put your hands up to something, The whole wall of the tree is fluffy caterpillars.
Oh no!
And they are spooked that I am there.
Oh no!
So,
Is it the ones that are poisonous?
I don't think so.
Okay. Whew. Because we have those here in Germany. They are poisonous, and you have to get away from them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're fairly small, little reddish brown ones. I remember, I think they have black stripes, maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna look for pictures because they scare me. But it gets worse. If you thought that the story was done, it gets worse. Because I'm very scared, and I'm like, oh, I messed up. And I back away from this tree instantly, and I just jump back. I'm like, game's over. I'm here because I made a scream. And and the caterpillars, in horror, like a scene from Resident Evil or something, they start clumping down and falling off of the tree in clumps. And since then, if there's more than like 3 bugs in one place,
no.
I can't do it.
Oh, Neil.
Oh.
Swarms of bugs are a big no, because that there's certain the daddy long leg spiders, quote unquote.
Mhm.
They do that thing where they all make a mass and cover a thing. I lose my mind. Oh, that's the worst, and I don't like it.
Yeah. See, I really wish I'd known that before I did the bug lady.
It's fine.
Because I wouldn't have done it.
There's a imagination barrier. I'm not super scared to
I know,
imagine
but
it,
you mention imagination barrier, and then you describe in beautiful detail, and I can see those fucking caterpillars, man. Like, just fuck no. And now I'm just like, oh no, I don't like this either, Neil.
Ooh, it was not great. And I never played hide and seek again, so that's my second fear: hide and seek. Who's next?
Follow that up, please. I can't follow that. What the fuck do I do now after this, Neil? Come on. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
So I just had to look up what that caterpillar was called that I mentioned earlier. It's called the oak processionary. And like,
the poisonous one in Germany.
Yes, I don't know if they're just in Germany. I would have to.
Look.
That's why you.
No, Neil, you don't have to
don't look.
Stop
Neil,
it.
No. Oath, not an oath, an oak in the forest. You're supposed to avoid them because there will be oak processionaries running along the forest floor, which is just hundreds, millions of those.
I can't look at these. I can't do
Neil,
it.
why did you look?
Yes. Oh my god!
Just Neil.
I just jumped in
Crawl
my
up
chair.
the oak. So yeah, I think you are supposed to report them when you see them in the forest.
I don't know what kind of caterpillar.
I've never seen them. Luckily, I do know a few oaks.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Just call the police, have those
terrifying.
things fucking arrested and executed.
The police.
So my plan is that whenever we mention stupid shit, I would write them down and I'd be able to make a little list of resources. I'm not doing that for this episode. If anyone's interested in this shit, Google it yourself. I'm not fucking into this, okay? I'm not checking up these horrible caterpillar.
I tried to figure out what caterpillar it is, but it's not. If I could see one caterpillar,
Neil.
that's the one. The thing is that on its own, it's not scary. On its own, like the caterpillar, it's pretty small. And it's thin. It's just fluffy, and it's cool colors. But listen, when you Google it, it's more caterpillars that show up. It's a lot of them, and they're all fluffy. And some of them are so big. I can't look at them.
Maybe you have to specify when you Google them that you enter the name of the caterpillar and then add just one. Or
A,
singular.
Just A. Yeah, A1.
Yeah, but there's more. But you have
singled out.
View per page. One result per page.
No.
Only one picture at a time, please, Google. Let's go. Google, show me one caterpillar.
This is how bad my Google. Oh, okay, there it is. I accidentally put a misspelled caterpillar and end up with the digger company. I was so much happier with that.
Since you ask where they are, since you ask where they are, the ones that I mentioned, they are in the UK, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany.
Aha!
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm going to add the colors, so I don't have to see the scary big one.
Oh, no.
Red.
No, stop.
So we don't really have caterpillars in Iceland. We
have. You probably also don't have butterflies, or not many.
Yeah. We don't have many. We have like tiny, maybe the size of like 2 knuckles of your finger, very thin green and black caterpillars. And every time I see them, I love them because they're so tiny and they're so derpy, and they do that like thing where they like like it's so cute.
They are like a what's that instrument called that Travis plays? The
Accordion.
Yes, the accordion.
Yeah, they're like an accordion. It's adorable, and every time I see one, I stare at it for hours. It's so cute.
For hours. when Aether is just gone for hours, he's like, he's looking at caterpillars again.
Fuck.
It's caterpillar season, isn't it? I knew it. I fucking knew it. I'm gonna jump on this horrible, creepy, crawly bandwagon. My second one, the fear, it's the spider. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't. Like,
right
I
there.
remember as a kid, I was playing under my bed. Like, I don't know how old I was like really small. And I had this toy which had a fluffy yellow body and some weird plastic face on it. And it had like blue legs and it had like red round balls at the end of each of its legs. And they had bells in them. Anyway, so I was playing under my bed one day and it was like late at night and I was playing when I shouldn't have been. No, it's just a toy, Ethel. It's just a toy.
What kind of toy was it? I didn't. Was it a spider toy?
It was a spider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
That makes a lot more sense. So it had like little shoes at the end of the legs.
Okay.
Yeah. So the end of the legs were just like big round red balls, and they had bells in them, and I loved playing with it as a kid. Anyway, late one night, I'm playing under my bed like I shouldn't do because I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to be in bed asleep, which never happened. And I was playing underneath, and I looked up at the toy, and I swear to fucking God, it moved towards me like it was fucking rolling on like fucking wheels, and I screamed so loud.
No.
I screamed so loud. I pushed the bed up off of me because it was just like one of those like metal frame beds because they were really light and cheap. I threw it up and my dad came bolting up. I never had my father move so fast in his fucking life. And he was like, "What was wrong?" I'm like, "The spider moved on its own." And ever since then, I can't do spiders.
Oh no.
I just can't.
Most people just have an inherent fear of spiders before seeing them. You have a fear of spiders because your toy moved.
Yeah, I swear to fucking God, Kessie. I swear to fucking God, it rolled towards me, Kessie.
No.
And it was not slow. I was so scared. Anyway, I know that big yellow body, big blue legs, and big round feet is not a real spider. It didn't look like a real spider. But I'm still scared of spiders. I just can't. I see their tiny little legs or their thin legs and their big ass bodies and I freak out. I see their really long, hairy legs and tiny bodies and I freak out. I just fucking can't. I don't care how big that spider is. I just cannot fucking do them whatsoever. There are times when I've had to suck it up, but mostly I just ignore them or I stay frozen exactly where I am if they're in the middle of the room. I can't move.
While Aether is watching the caterpillars.
Genuinely, I have been stuck for nearly an hour at one point. There was a spider between me and the door.
Who wasn't at the same house that I was at to come and kill a spider.
You're not in Iceland. Like I don't know how my fear of spiders would be in a country that actually might have poisonous spiders, but
you do have poisonous spiders in Texas,
venomous.
Right? Do you have them in
probably.
Texas?
Probably. It doesn't matter though if they're poisonous.
Yeah,
I still don't.
Look, I knew it.
Doesn't matter. It could not be poisonous at all. I'm scared of the nut, but I know that some of the ones that I don't like are not poisonous. In Texas, I think it's wolf spiders they're called that we have, and they get like pretty good size for me at least. I don't like it, and they're not poisonous at all. Don't like them. There's garden spiders that aren't poisonous, but they're the scariest. I can send.
They're fucking tiny ass bodies.
No, they're
really long fucking legs. Oh fuck no!
No,
just
it's
fuck
good.
no.
It's bad.
Like,
no. So, Aethor, are you scared of them?
Absolutely not, dude.
Okay, look up a picture and tell me if it is the spider, because I can't look at the picture.
Okay,
I think it's called.
I can't.
It's like a golden garden spider. Search Texas golden garden spider, and in the web you should see this little like Harry Potter zigzag that it sits right on. Yeah, and it's yellow.
Oh yeah,
black and yellow and big and not great. And they build their webs, and they're very obvious, right? They build their webs in very obvious places. They don't really hide.
Oh,
and
no.
so they build them between trees and in stuff and in gardens a lot. So you'll like,
oh yeah,
they're
no, fuck them.
your
Fuck them
level,
so much.
and they make it to where you can see them. It's wild, but they're scary, and I don't like them. And I ran into those a lot. I played in the woods a lot.
Don't run into them.
Why is their spider web so shit compared to other spiders?
They build it very big, I think, and they build their little zigzag in it. I don't know
why
what
do they do
the
the zigzag thing.
Them. I fuck them. That's how they do it. Just fuck them. we have I grew up on a council estate, and we had like these like tiny little alleyways between you had like 6 houses like next to each other touching walls, and they had this tiny little alleyway between them. And if anybody grew anything on the fences either side of that, the spiders would be fucking there. They would make the spiders across the alleyway for like you would get up in the morning, it would just be across, and I would have to go through those to get to school. And I'm like, I'm going to take the long way. I'm going to run the long way because I'm not going down here. Because the amount of times I've walked into spider webs and had spiders on me, oh my God, I can't. I just can't do them.
Just to take a stick with you and just go through the alleyway, like.
Yeah. So,
I was so scared because the spiders may go onto the stick, Kessie, and then the spiders would start running at me, Kessie. There's no way.
The spiders
I
usually
can't even
sit in
with a fucking Hoover, man.
The spiders usually sit in the center of the web. If you take the stick and go on the sides of the houses, and you still kill
Kessie, I'm not looking at their web. I'm not going near that shit, man. Fuck no. Like as an adult, I've learned to deal with them. But I'm very happy I live here because I don't have to deal with them. And the only 3 times I thought I saw a spider. One, it was dead in a bathtub that we were looking at in a house that we did buy. This is a murder
because
house,
of the spider.
The
house was great, but there was a spider.
The place
in the
genuinely had a murder basement. This place was fucking weird.
It was a spooky
It was
house.
awful. The other one was when I was having a massage and I could see the spider crawling across the floor as I was looking down. I'm like, suddenly very tense. And then when I was doing my duty manager checks at the end of the night, I walked into a corridor, opened into a corridor, and I saw this really big black thing about the size of my hand just crawling across the floor, and it had 8 legs, and I freaked the fuck out. I turned the light on, and it was a fucking crab. So I was much happier when I knew it was a crab.
I mean, it's
that
an
guy
ocean
was way
spider.
more dangerous than any fucking Spider-Man.
Just an ocean spider.
Oh, I would have had a whole ass heart attack, V.
Just an entire
I was very
heart
scared
attack.
for a minute.
You ready for my second most scary bug story? Perhaps first. It's a contender. It's probably second. When I was real little, like watching Weenie the Pooh and playing in the woods, it's probably like 6 or 8 years old or something. I'm getting ready for school, and I put my shoes on and I tie them all up. And I was weird as a kid. I had to have my shoelaces like tied. I had to like spend time on them because they had to be tied the same. Like I would be OCD about like if one was looser than the other. So
Yeah,
it
the
took me
bow
time,
and the bow and the tongues has to be the same length. Yeah.
And as I'm messing around, I'm like, there's something in my shoe, and I'm like, I pull my foot out. Via's already making a face.
No, I've done that before. Fuck no.
No.
Fuck you now.
And I pull it because my shoes were in
God,
the
no,
garage
fuck you.
because I played in the woods, right? And there's a creek, and so like they got wet, and my shoes were in the garage. So that's why the next time I put them on to get ready to go to school, and I'm like, there's something in my shoe. I pull it out. I have busted open a nest, and there are babies just crawling everywhere. Lots of the small little ones. Lots of tiny little babies.
Are you talking about spiders?
Spiders, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just set your foot in
Fuck
fire,
them.
dude. It's over.
Yeah, fuck
Throw
that.
it away. You don't need that shit anymore.
No.
I think I was too young to like have a good strong phobia of anything back then, but I think that definitely did something to instill a fear of spiders in me. And now they're everywhere. And a week ago, I had to call and wake Danielle up to let me in the house because my garage door opener wouldn't work where I park. And I went to the front door and there's a fucking spider making a nest outside by the light. And I'm like, I can't use this whole door. And I yelled at the spider. And I go around to the back where I see another spider. And I walked back to my car and I called my sister and I said, hey, you need to open the garage for me. I'm locked out.
The fucking spiders, they organized, and I'm locked out of our fucking house.
I could have ducked under them, but I would have had to go under them, and I don't want.
Yes. No. What if they drop on your head? Fuck that.
Can't do it.
Oh,
I
Neil,
am
why
with
did
you,
you
V.
choose this? Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
I'm right there
I'm genuinely
with you.
I've become much better as an adult, but I'm still just like, if I see a spider and it's of any decent size, like, you know, bigger than like a 5p coin, I'm like, I can't. I'm going nowhere near it. I can't suck it up with a Hoover. I can't go anywhere near it. Nope.
You want me to be honest? Not scared of caterpillars, but those fluffy caterpillars that I was seeing, they look a lot like tarantulas, and that's why I couldn't look at the caterpillars anymore.
No.
Sorry, y'all. I'm not scared of caterpillars. I don't
just
even
mean
want to
fluffy?
look at them one at a time, though, because some of them are scary.
Can you
Some
look
of
at the
them.
non-fluffy ones?
Non-fluffy caterpillars.
Yeah, but if there's like one or
non-fluffy
of them,
spiders.
yeah. If there's like a couple,
One of them.
yeah, I'm good.
One at
But,
a time.
Some of the caterpillars look kind of like spiders, and I don't like that, and they should stop.
Aw.
Aethel, please take us away from spiders
All right.
and bugs.
So, I've never been afraid of spiders. Never been afraid
Just
of.
not moving away from the subject, Aethel.
I've never been afraid of
Insects.
flies, insects in general.
Mosquitoes.
Nope. None of that bugs me. I like none of it bothers me even a little bit. I genuinely, less than 8 years ago, I accidentally had a spider crawling in my hair because I laid down in grass and I got it out of my hair and I had it on my hand and I was playing around with it. I'm not afraid of them. But God fucking help me if a bumblebee comes close to me.
Oh my goodness, Aethor. All right.
This is a genuine phobia. It is not rational. I am not going to try to excuse it. I'm not going to argue it because that's ridiculous.
But they're so cute. Aethor.
Bumblbees
And they're fluffy. Like, that's something I'm against with
and
bugs.
wasps
They shouldn't be.
and no bumblebees.
Do you have them in Iceland?
literally at yes, we have bumblebees and wasps. Any flying insect that has yellow on it instills terror in my heart. As thunder did in the caveman. Like, it is something in the core of my soul that is deathly afraid of being stung by these things. I have
Even
been
if
stung
it's a
by
moth or a butterfly?
No.
You said that it's yellow and flying.
No, I've never seen a yellow butterfly.
What? We only
We
have
have
yellow
gray
butterflies over
butterflies
here.
here. And,
Yeah, I
and-
have like the more moth type butterflies.
But
Yeah.
butterflies don't have that same manic energy that flies have. Flies have this chaos energy to them. They don't know where they're going, what the fuck they're
They're doing their
People
best. Leave them alone.
People say that flies apparently have 5,000 eyeballs. Well, they can't see shit, and they're doing dumb shit constantly. I don't understand it. But normal flies, I don't care about. We have like 10 normal flies inside the house because we recently had a rainstorm and we have a very nice yard. So the flies went straight for our fucking house for cover. And it's annoying, but I don't care. They're just in the house. But Jesus fucking Christ, if there was a goddamn wasp or bumblebee in this house, I would capture it and I will kill it.
No, not the
Every
bumblebees.
time. I do. There is no distinction between those two. They're both flying yellow fucks and they will die. I will put them in a glass and I will spray that glass full of bullshit, or I will force something into that glass until it crushes the shit out of that stupid ass insect, and then I throw it in the trash where it belongs. And
No,
that's-
I'm with you there on the wasps because
Yeah.
wasps can go fuck
They
themselves.
can go to
But-
hell.
Yeah, bees are okay.
As we realized when
I
we did the
haven't-
animal episode.
Yeah, bees are
What's on
cool.
your
Bees are
list?
okay. However, I do understand that terror, and I have seen it in a lot of people. that like bees and wasps or hornets or anything like that,
yeah,
anything
hornets.
that flies and stings, fuck them. I have seen that terror in a lot of people, and although initially
But
it makes me
bumblebees
laugh,
cannot
I
sting
also
you.
still go think, oh no, when it's at my face. Otherwise, I'm fine.
Yes, bumblebees can sting you.
No,
What
they can
magic-
bite you. They can bite
No,
you. They
they-
cannot
they
sting you.
have
They
the-
don't have a stinger.
Yes, they do. They have a
No.
stinger in the back of
No,
the butt.
bumblebees don't have a stinger.
They use it.
That's just a
Bee flu. I don't know if it's the same as bumblebee, but it's a black and yellow one that looks kind of fuzzy. It has a single stinger in the back of its fucking butt, and when it puts it in you, when it walks away, it rips out its stupid gut and it leaves the stupid stinger
Bumblebees
behind,
can
and
do
they're
that.
dead.
Bumblebees don't have a stinger.
Then what bee
They
am
can-
I talking about?
Normal bees that aren't fluffy.
Okay, well, I don't like those either.
Aethor,
oh.
for Halloween, can we watch the Bee movie?
I am not afraid of recordings of bees. I have watched genuinely hours of beekeeping.
You know what sucks though, Aethor?
What?
Is that beekeeping is really cool, but
I
there's
know.
too many of them in one place.
There's so many bees.
There's
dude.
so many of them
And
that I can't do it. And those wasp videos when they're like clearing out a nest and they're like,
Oh,
there's
no.
just a dude in there like pulling up the ground and there's bugs just losing their minds. That's the worst video.
Yeah, fuck that.
There's too many bugs
Oh,
and they're
so-
crawling all over the camera.
so-
Ugh.
Back when I lived in the UK, we had a bee nest appear at the bottom of our garden. Just one day, walk down there, fuckload more
In
bees
the
than there should
ground?
be. I'm like, oh, okay, what's this? Yeah.
Oh, ground bees.
So there was like, yeah, it was a red bee or whatever the fuck it's called. So it wasn't yellow, but still terrifying. I understand. So we had to work out how we could safely move the bee nest because they were pissing off our chickens.
Oh no.
So we had to like smoke the fucker
Oh.
like much later so that we could move the queen because the rest of them don't give a shit. That's not the problem. It's getting rid of her. So we had to do that, smoke it, and then like move it to the forest, which was only just literally across the road from us, like across the. So we just put it over there and it was fine. But yeah, like we have all types of bees in the UK, and like it was just very cool to see like a queen bee was like, I'm just gonna lay on the ground next to your shed next to the
It's a
chickens. I'm like, get
cool
the fuck
thing.
out of here.
But like
Yeah, very
beekeeping
cool.
videos and stuff, and they're looking for the queen, and I'm like, you're looking at
Mhm.
so many bugs. I'm losing my mind.
How
I cannot find the queen because I'm looking at too many bugs. I don't like it. Bees are cool, but
So I've watched
Swarm. No.
many hours of beekeeping videos, and I think they're funny as shit. I think bees are funny creatures, but they scare the shit out of me, dude. And if they invade my personal space, they will die. But the smoking of bees is incredibly funny because bees have it like internalized thing. They have this thing that if they smell smoke, that means there's fire, which means they have to abandon the home. So
But
all
the first
the bees
thing they will do is eat all the honey.
eat all the honey, which makes them fat and drowsy. So all the bees are like, oh god, shit. Where's the queen,
They
dude?
are fucking wasted.
And they're so dumb. I
And
think
then they
it's so
puke it
adorable.
out in the new hive. They're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's adorable. I think the fact that like when a hive loses its queen, the beekeepers are like, all right, here's a new queen, and we put them inside this little cage of sugar and a little bit of net so it can still also breathe. So all the bees are going to start eating the sugar, but it should take long enough that the smell of the queen confuses them, and they now go like, oh, that's our new queen. So they plop the queen in the middle, and all the bees are like, get her, murder this motherfucker, where's our old queen? This bitch, she better not try any shit. And then they eat all the sugar, and they're like, you know what? I think she smells kind of nice. And then when they're done eating the sugar, they're like, hail our new queen, our new overlord. And it's like, you fuckers are so dumb. You were trying to murder her less than 2 hours ago, and now you're worshipping her.
That's amazing. I love it.
I actually have like a little story, like not a full story, but like when I was writing Counterbalance in the garden outside, I always was sitting with my my tablet and my camping chair outside next to the wall, and at some point I noticed that there was always like a bee flying, not a bee, a bumblebee flying past me into the wall. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write again. Like 5 minutes later, another bee passed me by. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like they came like in a few minutes time between them. And then at some point I realized they kept going into the wall behind me because at some point apparently they had a nest in there or something. It was like just a wall bee and they just kept coming in there. I was like, okay, I can measure the amount of time I spent out here by the amount of bees that pass me by.
Bio clock.
On the 8th bee, I shall go inside to prepare food. And on the 3rd bee, the egg shall be boiled.
When shall we be meet again?
All right, Kessie.
Yeah.
Please tell us that your number one fear is not small creature related.
No, it's not small creature related.
Okay, good.
It's
Cool.
a fear I talked to, with my friend Katie yesterday about. I didn't realize it was a fear until I told her about this. And that is a fear of walls of text. It is a really weird fear. Like, it's the opposite of what authors have when they are faced with a blank page. That, like, you know, authors, like, they are terrified of, like, just a blank page. Like, where the fuck do I begin?
Yeah.
I have the exact opposite, that when I open a book and I see a block of text, my mind freezes. I'm like, oh shit. And I cannot, like, I need to overcome, like, a little internal crisis every time I open a book. Which caused me a lot of trouble in my childhood, not because I couldn't read text. Like, if we got texts in class, every time I was like, we would do like a roundup. Everyone had to take like a paragraph of text and read it. And every time it was my turn, I was like, I froze up. I was like, oh shit, I don't know where we are. I am fine when someone is reading it to me. So when we got those pages of text that we had to read, I completely just, my mind went, like my eyes went blurry. I focused on what the others were reading, and I never knew where the fuck we were.
Wow.
Which is a really weird fear to have, apparently. I don't think I heard of anyone else have it. Or, like, I think there's a lot of people that probably have it that say, like, I don't like reading, but they don't realize that it might be like the same thing as I
might
do.
have started with that little like nope.
Yeah. Like, I need to overcome that every time I read a text. Like, but once I'm in the story, I'm fine. But every time I see a wall of text, my eyes go blurry, and I need to overcome that internal fear. And that is why I didn't start actually writing anything for the longest time, until I figured out that scripts, like dialogue scripts, are completely fine to me. I don't know if it's like it might be the font, like
that it's like it's like broken up on different lines versus like
no
prose, which
there is actually
paragraphs.
Like there's something I learned during my apprenticeship as a media designer for fonts and stuff, that what are they called? Sans serif fonts are really bad to read, which are the fonts that don't have those little, you know, when a T has those little lines on the edge and at the bottom?
Yeah.
Those things that are serifs. And when a font doesn't have them, it makes them really hard to read, because if a font does have them, it creates this visual line that helps you guide you through the text. So that helps enormously reading, especially people with dyslexia, I think. And I realized that I can actually read a text very well when it's written in Courier New. I know a lot of people hate that font, but I can actually read it. And like, if it's in a font like, I don't know, Times New Roman, I cannot really read too well. I don't know why. But it needs to have serifs, and the spacing between the font needs to be like the same size, and the lines need to be a specific size. Like in a book, you usually have like more than 10, like between 10 and 15 words in one line. Yeah. In a script format, you usually have like maximum of 7 to 8 words in a line. And that makes it much easier to read for me. So if the text is small, like not small, but like the lines are small, then it makes it easier for me to read, and my mind doesn't have this initial fear that I need to get into this text first.
So you like the text big, and the space is wide, and the letters clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And I remember, like, as I said, I had that fear every time I opened a page. I loved reading. I just needed to overcome that fear every time. So whenever I looked forward to reading every night before I went to bed, but I still always had to get over that initial fear. But boy, that fear was multiplied by a lot when someone introduced me to the Harry Potter books. I was like, like, that's not a book, that's a brick.
Yes, they became weighty tomes that you could like start beating people with in a significant manner. Yeah. Oh, blimey. Huh.
My mind would
That's
just go like
cool and interesting.
I would have that same fear just looking at the exterior of the book, not even seeing the lines.
It's because you know what's in there.
Yeah, I know. I dread the lines and the paragraphs and the text and the words.
Oh, blimey.
That's why at some point in my life I turned over to audiobooks because I couldn't do them. I don't need to look at the text.
Oh, that's that one interesting. Boo, that's the thing for you. And also, holy crap, that's cool. Like, I've learned a lot about like font type in the last 5 minutes.
That explains a lot about your scripts. You're probably the only podcaster I've ever worked with who actually gave me a perfectly like script-looking script. It's not just a block of text on a page. It's genuinely a script.
That's why I got so upset about some of the scripts we got for Whitewald. I had to put them into my thing so I could actually read them on stage. I need to be in my comfort zone to read them.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And that's why I sometimes complain at you when you do something for social media and I'm like, no one can read this! Block of text and also
You
what
were
the
like,
fuck is that font?
use real text. Stop being fancy. I've learned, I'm sorry. Oh, blimey. Oh. All right, Neil, what have you got?
Well, I was gonna say spiders, but we talked a lot about spiders.
Let's not talk about them anymore.
I have more stories about spiders.
No, you can stop right now, Phil. We don't need that.
I would say the biggest fear that I have that affects day to day is probably social anxiety. That's a fear. Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll allow it.
I don't know. I guess it's fear of judgment.
So somewhat related to Hem's number 3 fear. Kind of?
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. It's hard to point at like one thing and be like, well, that's a point to go down.
Are you one of those people that freaks out when your phone rings and you're not expecting a phone call?
My phone doesn't ring. I've disabled that feature.
Vibrates.
It doesn't
lights
vibrate.
up.
I've disabled that feature. Look, when I look at my phone and I'll have a missed call, if there's a voicemail, I'll get back to you. I don't really do phones. I've turned them off.
Telephobia is also a thing. That's what I was alluding to earlier.
I am just the world's worst at interacting with people that I don't know. Dating is a nightmare. I can't do it. I don't know how to send messages back and forth to people. It will take me a day to like
formulate a message.
Yeah, well, it's not that I'm even thinking about the message. It'll be a day before I'm like, okay, now I have the energy to like read the message even, and think of a response. I'm just a nightmare at new people. Job interviews, fuck. I could go into the job interview wanting to fail and I would still be nervous. I'd be like, I don't want this job, but I'll come be at the interview.
I'm with you in a degree on that, Neil, because I said this to Aether when we started dating, actually, like I can't hang out with people.
Yeah, parties
I can't just be like, do you want to go down the pub?
Parties have to be like
beer?
people
I'm
that
like,
I know. and then I'll be completely good. I'm completely fine.
But even then, I need to have like a social construct. I need to go, oh, we're going to this bar because we're talking about a project we're working on, or because we're going to discuss this like personal detail of yours. Like, I have to have that set, otherwise I can't function. This is why I need excuses to hang out with you guys, because I can't function without it. I can't just pick up a call and be like, hey Neil, you want to chat about our day today? Because I know you and I will both be like, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this at all. You and I would never be able to do that, and I adore everything about you, man. I need that construct to be able to do that. Like, I can approach
Need a purpose
people
for it.
that Yes. I can approach people that I work with if I'm looking for something. Like, hey, I will approach this random person who's the head of this like random thing without a worry in the world. However, if I'm told I need you to start networking with this person over here, I can't do it. I can't just randomly like, hi, how are you doing? I'm going to introduce myself. I can't do that. I just can't. Like, there's something about that I just can't do. So I totally get that like anxiety of people. Like, you definitely have it way worse than I.
It was a struggle. I mean, it's still a struggle because a lot of what I do is I want to make things. Like, that's what I think matters in life with my belief system. I think that the only thing that's worthwhile I struggle to do anything constructive that's not like making something. When I make something, I want to stand back from it and just like watch the reception. I don't want to be a part of it. You know, when I was in bands, for example, I didn't want to like hang out with fans afterwards. I wanted to go home.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. 100%.
I don't want to go
I've had to make a concerted effort to talk to people who talk back at me. I'm like, I will say something, but this is genuinely an effort for me to do this. I'm sorry, guys, but I am trying.
And all of my bandmates
I
are
would
extroverts.
much rather be like you in that.
Right? And they're like, well, why do you do this then, Neil? Like, if you don't want to like go and receive the positive end of like coming out and doing the performance, like if you don't want to reap the benefit of like hearing that you did a good job, that's
not the important
I know
bit.
whether I did a good job or not. I know that. I don't want anyone to like fluff me tonight over like whether I did good or not. I'm judging myself. I did all right or I didn't do all right. And only I know that. Everyone else out there is bullshitting me. Everyone's against me.
So now I'm only sending factual data to Neil about his music.
I have a broken brain. Just don't think that, I don't know.
No,
it's a struggle.
I can get on board with the, like, I don't like praise. It makes me feel incredibly awkward, but I can't get on board with anything else you've been saying.
You are 100% an extrovert.
It is so fucking weird. I fluctuate. Some days I do not want to interact with anybody.
You're an ambivert.
But I like, we've done White Vault live twice now, and afterwards when we're just talking to people that came to see us, I loved that. Not because they came up to me and went like, oh, that was great. No, I hated that part. But afterwards it was like, so where are you from? Oh, I'm from Iceland. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Alaska or something. And I'm like, shit, really? Like, it's so fun talking to people about this kind of stupid shit. I love that shit.
Yeah, if the people afterwards just stop being like praising you, like, yeah, you saw the performance. We don't need to talk about it anymore. It's over. Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk shit, dude. Let's talk shit.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
I have had one.
I will fuck off early. I will probably end up with a migraine in those situations.
Yeah.
Like, after cast parties, fuck that. I'm out. Like, I will usually end up like just physically feeling unwell and I just leave.
Just feel incompetent in those situations. I feel like I feel
like I'm floundering.
I don't need to be there,
Yeah.
So I've had that happen to me once, and it was a very strange evening. It was after we moved to Vestmannaeyjar. It's about like 3 or 4 months after I joined my job. We had a Christmas party, and everybody's invited over, and like all the workers are like, we're given like silly costumes, and everybody's like having fun, and there's free alcohol, and it was a jolly evening, and there was a quiz game, and everything's great. And then as soon as the quiz was over, and people paired off into like tables and groups, I couldn't talk to anybody. I was listening to people talk, and I couldn't do the thing that I can do naturally in almost any situation. Like, I shit you not, drop me as long as I speak the language, I can riff with anybody. But in that moment, that evening, I couldn't talk to anybody.
Got a little taste of what everyone else in this room is going through every day of their lives.
Oh, I hated it. I genuinely, because
What
it
was
had
it,
been
though?
Came home really upset.
I think it was the fact that I didn't know anybody's line, and this was a possible future job, and I can't fuck this up. So when I'm at a party and I'm just hanging out with my friends' friends who I don't know, if I say something stupid or insulting, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to throw a punch, and then the evening's over. But at the end of tomorrow, I don't ever have to see those people again. But in this case, it was like, oh, I can't make inappropriate jokes at my own expense here, because that might color their opinion of me forever, and I have to deal with these people, and they live on the island, and there are only 5,000 people here, and if I burn 10 bridges today, I'll be down to 4,950 bridges. 80 bridges.
All of which are future job openings for you.
Yep.
And I just couldn't. But since then, I'm very happy to say it only took 2 years almost. I've been riffing with the office staff recently, just saying jokes and having fun. And I think I may be over whatever the hell that was, but that was genuinely most terrifying evening, because I came home and I was like, do I not know how to socialize anymore? Because it's been a good while since I went to a party last. I had been sober for about 5 years for no reason, just stopped drinking, just stopped going to parties. And I was just like, oh no, I've forgotten how to...
I feel like I have nothing to add that's of any value, and I think that makes me boring. So I don't want to say it because people will think I'm boring. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have one of the most colorful pasts, V.
And yes, I was extremely fucking nervous when I met every one of these people.
Oh my god, yeah. I remember it was 2 or 3. I remember the first time I met you. It was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning my time, and I was cramming to finish printing and organizing all of my notes, my first engineering end of year project. I remember this distinctly because I had to be printing and putting everything in the binder and talking to you guys at the same time. And I went to college that morning, having not slept, handed it in, went home and slept for 4 hours, and then had to go to work. It was a hell day. I remember this, but I remember being terrified. I was like, all right, I think I'm going to be sick. I don't know these people. There's a sound engineer coming on.
You know why I was there, V? Do you know why I was there? I made that excuse, V.
No.
I was like, I'll be there at all of the one-shots to take notes. Yeah, I didn't need notes, V. I was going to listen to it when y'all were done, and there was going to be an undiscerned amount of time in which I was going to be able to complete the task. It didn't matter that I was there. The notes that I got were going to be irrelevant anyways. I was there because I could sit and be quiet and get to know everyone from a distance, and it was the perfect excuse to do it.
Clever.
Because the guy who was running it said, "Oh, I have a sound engineer that's going to be coming soon." I got nervous because it was getting way too real, way too quick.
It was the first time I've done any of that.
Not just because this.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Terrified.
I still don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I wish I'd known that.
Yeah, no, you didn't need to be nervous.
And it wasn't until we had that social construct of us being able to role play together that I realized, hey, I might like hanging out with this guy. So I was like, once we got over that construct, I'm like, yeah, I like working with this guy. Oh, I'm also the only person giving him notes. Sweet. But yeah, we're lucky in that medium that we have chosen to do art in, because if we want to, we never have to interact with anyone ever.
Yeah.
We just put it out into the wild, we hit go on Hootsuite, and we don't actually have to interact with people.
Don't get me wrong, I like
to hide
hearing
on this
about
side
it.
of the screen.
Right, I like hearing things, and I can take criticism. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but it's
I like it. I don't like interacting with it though, but forcing it.
It's more of the moment, you know. I'm just talking about that dread of the moment of being somewhere where you're very uncomfortable, and it happens so often, and it's every day, and that's why it's number one.
I think it's almost why I always have an escape route when I go to these things. And it's always why I prefer having a car or a push bike or anything, or being close enough to leave. I hate being dependent on other people when you turn up to those things. Like, let's ride share. I'm like, let's not. I don't want to do that.
Well,
I just want to be able to leave.
we the freaky extroverts do that because we want to get drunk.
Yes, I know.
We're not-
But then you'll get a super upsetting when I'm like, I want to leave now, and you're like, I've had 3 beers. I'm like, I don't care. I want to leave. So I'll even come pick you up because it's a tiny ass island. It's a 5-minute drive everywhere. All right, I'm gonna wrap with mine. Less of a phobia, more of a fear, and I know that it's not really based in any real fact. I know it's kind of irrational.
You don't have to.
But it is a big concern.
You don't have to tell the bumblebee guy that. I understand.
I am
one.
very
By a mile. I'm sorry.
You're a fear beneath that is burning someone's house. I'm sorry.
Guys, my cheeks are hurting.
yeah, my face hurts. My top current fear, and it does change from time to time. My top current fear is that I will do something stupid, or I will do something unknown, and I'll get myself thrown out of this country because I will be screwed. I don't want to go back to Britain. That place is a shithole. I have no money left in Britain. I have £19 left on a credit card, and that's the entirety of my life over there. Other than my father, who could not house me and I could not live, and my brother, whom I could not live with because of the situations there. I'm like, I don't want to get thrown out of where I am, and I just have this irrational fear that I'll do something stupid.
You can come to
yes,
me.
I speak 3 words of German. Yeah,
That's more than
I've got
most
this,
German,
and
so
it's closer to English. That's just my big worry, is that I will do something stupid. I will
They will chase you out
eventually
with
one day when I
pitchforks.
have. Yes, they're like, get off my land, except in a language I can't understand, and that's why I'm getting thrown out. Like, I will try and learn some Icelandic, and then one day I'll be like, do, filling out my tax, and they're like, you did it wrong, you owe us billions and billions of krona, get out of my country. Or I'll accidentally drive on the wrong side of the road, like I did today for 10 minutes of my drive. But no fucker was around, so it didn't matter. I will do I will do something stupid. Like, it may be something at work, it may be something personal. I am genuinely worried that I would do something stupid and not realize that I'm doing it. It is even worse, and I will get myself thrown out of this country, and I'll never be able to come back. I don't want to live in Britain again. I don't want to go back there. And then I can't be easily moved to Germany because we're no longer in the EU.
Oh no!
So everything is a hellscape from this point on. So yeah. Like, I have made my bed. I'm hoping to make it permanently, but that's some years down the line. So yes, that until that happens, until I get citizenship, I will live in a consistent world of miniature fear. There you go. So yeah, that's my I guess that's my immigrant fear, really, is that I will do something stupid and not be allowed to come back. That's it. That's my hellscape that I live in daily to a small degree until the day I'll get my citizenship. But I don't know if I can do that because I'll have to speak some form of Icelandic and I really suck at it. So yeah.
You'll be fine.
That's my life. Yeah. I'll be fine. I don't really think I'll get thrown out, but there's a little tiny part in the back of my brain when I wake up in the morning. It's like, it's today your last day.
Oh no!
It's just always in there in the background.
Is that why you take 40 minutes getting out of bed every morning?
I have to come over that absolute terror, followed by having to go maybe meet with people I don't want to talk with. But at least there are no spiders.
But what if there are
Zero
spiders
spiders.
in disguise?
Oh no.
No spiders, Cassie.
Oh.
I made sure
No
of it.
Spider
Spiders.
aliens.
All right. I'm going to really quickly do 2 honorable mentions, and I don't want to talk about one of them.
But the
I
other
have
one
a
is fine.
minor. The other one is fine.
Okay.
We'll do the mirrors. I have a minor upsetty with mirrors. There's something about it. They're terrifying. You look at yourself in the wrong way. I feel that there's lag when I look in a mirror and I turn my head. There's something about it. It's not right. It makes me very uncomfortable. We have 2 mirrors in this house, and they're both really big. And they both make me upsetting. And unfortunately, they're built into the wall. So I'm like, all right.
Oh no, they were here before the house was there. The house was built around the mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, Cassie, no. So back in Britain,
Cassie,
we
stop.
had
I
one
like those
mirror
mirrors.
in the house. We had one mirror in the house, and it was in the bathroom, and I didn't actually have to look at it to fulfill my day, so I could go weeks without looking at myself in the mirror. It was great.
What is this?
They make me uncomfortable, man. Like, so Travis for Dark Dice tried to find out what our phobias were and like build it into the story, and he found out well after we
Don't
started
show him this
season 1
episode.
that mine was mirrors. Huh?
Don't show him this episode.
Don't show them this episode. Sorry, Travis. And he put in a mirror to fuck with Rowena. So I that was fine with that because that's like virtual mirrors. But you can probably pick up that me and mirrors have issues. Like just look at TLD. Everything with mirrors is fucking terrible. So I have a minor issue with mirrors. I'm fine. It's okay. If there's a mirror, I'm not going to run screaming. But shit, if something weird turns up in the mirror, I'm going to run screaming.
Everybody's gonna run screaming if weird shit turns up in the mirror. Mirrors are a reflection of reality. If weird shit's in the mirror, there's weird shit in your room.
Aether, what if it's not?
It is. It is refracted
What if it's
light.
not? Yes, I know. I know the logic behind this, but it's irrational, and that's my point. And the other one is I'm going to shout out to a proper phobia I had when I was a kid, and I didn't really get rid of it until I was about 25 years old, which was any room that had a toilet in it.
You were afraid of toilet rooms?
Continuum. Yes, I was afraid of toilets, like genuinely was. Like I used to have nightmares of walking into my bedroom and there were just toilets everywhere. I don't want to talk about it. It was dumb and stupid. It was so bad that I could not really use
I need to
public
know this.
restrooms.
Were you
It was
alright
awful.
if there was a bathtub in there? Or
No,
okay.
like genuinely any room. Like it could be a tiny little closet room with a toilet in it and I'd be terrified. It could be a bathroom that didn't have a toilet and I'd be fine. But if that bathroom had a toilet in it, I would freak the fuck out. I couldn't decide which was worse, whether the metal toilet ones were worse or whether like the porcelain ones were worse.
The metal ones are definitely the worst. The metal ones, they are
Yes,
so
I
as fuck
know.
because not only are they made out of metal and hard to clean, they're also reflective.
Yes. The mirror thing has gotten worse over time. I'm not gonna lie. But I genuinely had a massive phobia of it, and my parents would have to like plan restroom stops, and my mum would have to force me into the bathroom and just like push me in there, and it was the worst time in my life. And then as I became an adult, I realized I was stupid, and it took me years to get over it. I am better now, but sometimes when I open a bathroom, I just like nope. I'm leaving.
I didn't need to go that badly anyway.
There are genuinely still some places that do that to me. I thought I was over it. I thought I was fine. And then I went to a Burger King in Britain and I'd been to many Burger Kings, many bathrooms, but this one place was like hell. There was nothing particularly wrong with it. I was just like, I can't. Just something in my gut says I can't be in here. I'm leaving.
In fairness, I would. Everyone should run from the toilets in Burger King. So
yes, they should. It is a wise move, but I'm calling out a childhood phobia, and I don't want to talk any more about it. Either.
You don't even have the experience with like toilets on boats. So
I know. I don't have that experience. I also don't have the experience of like having to check under the toilet seat for like spiders or shit. No, they never concern me. Nope, not a problem. It's anywhere near the toilet, I'm done. I can't do it. I won't do it.
So toilets on boats are really loud. I don't know why. It's some kind of internal plumbing system, blah, blah, blah.
But, oh my God, and the flush. The flush is the worst.
Yep.
If you ever get overdoing it, you flush and run. Like, I couldn't cope with that. Like,
in the
I had to
boats?
run out.
Yeah.
Or just in general?
On boats, at least.
In general, for me.
Oh, okay.
But the boats worse.
So I think the boats have like a vacuum system instead of water pushing other water down.
Yeah, like in
boats,
in airplanes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Airplanes do that too.
Yeah, the trains also have them here. I think just any public
Same with the trains
transport
in the UK.
that
It's
has a
just
toilet.
loud.
Yeah, they have like this.
All right, let's stop talking about toilets.
Thank you. I'm totally fine with it now. I'm absolutely fine. I will pee everywhere and anywhere. I am totally fine with it. But
Please don't.
sometimes, guys, if I say I need to pee and I come out and I say I need to pee 30 minutes later and I want to go home, you know why. There was something about that place and I don't know what it is. But yeah, I'm fine now. Carry on. Anyone else got any honourable mentions?
Forests.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yes, but you guys don't have forests, so I understand why that's terrifying.
They're a bit spooky. Unfortunately, that's what I told Travis when I met him once, and then he put it in Dark Dice, and I was like, "What? Oh, I'm supposed to be spooked by this dude? No, this is an imaginary forest.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of the concept of forest. I am scared of being lost in a forest in real life."
Forest scares me kind of the same as the ocean because you can go look at it on Google Earth and there's a lot of it, and that's terrifying. It's very big. Too many spiders in there, probably. But just the bigness of it is intimidating.
So many.
See, I
And
love
oak
forests. I
processionaries.
think that I love forests. Like, I never walked into a spider web in a forest, and I know there are fuck tons of spiders there. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I used to go walking there like 3-4 in the morning with the dog because it was quiet and the birds were like chirping. So I was ringing my recording anyway. I was like, oh, I'll take a walk. I'll be the only one here. I can let the dog off the leash. I don't have to worry about the dog running off and mauling someone to death. There's no worries about that. And I once took a little miniature video that I sent to the Dark Dive Creative chat, which was me walking through a forest at 3 in the morning. It's like, this is a real forest. You see these trees? There's fucking loads of them. You see this forest wall? There's loads of them. Oh, look, there's a bend. What's around this bend? And I did that deliberately because I knew I didn't know forests.
We have forest. Fuck you.
We do not have forests. Trees planted in a straight line is not a forest.
I'm going to take you
an alley.
to. I'll take you to
Thank you.
Fagraskógur, I think it's called, and I'll get your ass lost in there, and then I'll give you a single walkie-talkie one way. And then when you fucking call me, Aether, I'm lost in this group of trees, I'm going to force you to say forest, and then I'll come save your ass.
Copse. It's a copse. It's no bigger than like a small wood.
Get your ass lost in it.
We literally have a place called the New Forest, which implies there was an old forest.
Hey, Iceland used to have forests before it got colonized.
Populated?
Yeah, populated, colonized, whatever you want to call it. No, there used to be forests, but of course, like, because Iceland has literally no resources, the forests were just destroyed. Not that there was a lot of them, but they got chopped down. Like firewood because it's cold, houses because it's cold. Can you think of other uses for forests?
Furniture because it's cold.
Cold.
Yeah. Don't want to sleep on the floor because it's cold.
Medieval toilets.
Big old ditch.
Boats because you needed to get off the island.
True. By that point, they'd already taken down all the trees. They couldn't get off the island. They're like, fuck.
Fuck, we have to take this house, turn it upside down, and put a sail on it. Let's call it a boat.
Aether is so upsetting at us right now. Cassie, any honourable mentions?
No.
Neil?
Not really. Existence is fear. I wake up every morning and choose fear.
Aw.
There's always something
We
new and
promised.
unknown to be afraid of, and it's probably
Yeah.
in the forest and or in the ocean.
In the ocean.
And it's probably fuzzy and in a big clump with a lot of friends.
And it's black and yellow and flying.
Fuck that.
Yep, puffins
that
like
shit.
fly through the water. I can understand this.
It's a fuzzy cuttlefish.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of Fear, the podcast episode, which I would probably have to put like a huge disclaimer and spoiler at the beginning. Hey, if you're terrified of shit, don't listen to this episode. Like, I can't tell you what or why. It's just terrifying. If at any point you want to skip this episode, do it. Run.
Disclaimer: we talk about fears, but also our cheeks hurt from laughing.
We're going to
Yes,
talk about spooky things like social
Spooky.
interaction.
Or walls of text. Woo!
I said I wasn't going to get real, and then V's second one was spiders. And I'm like, remember at the beginning when I said there's only one right number one answer, V?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yours was the second.
See, spiders, like, when I get comfortable in a situation, spiders will take the top spot. But when I'm, like, in a bad, terrifying situation, the spiders will go beneath that. I will do whatever I need to do to not leave, including having a spider on me. But that would be a huge fucking push, I'm not going to lie. There will be something to consider.
To be fair, if they kick you out of Iceland, they'll put you somewhere with more spiders.
Imagine
There can only be places with more.
Imagine the Icelandic government just came to you and is like, hey, we will give you the Icelandic citizenship if you will endure this spider just sitting on your lap for 10 minutes.
I don't know, Kessie, do I have to be a mature adult about it? Do I have to do it gracefully? And how much can I swear?
I mean, you can do the thing that the guy from your tower story did and just dig your hands into someone's knee around you until you see the knuckles.
Yep. Everything in me just goes white. My fucking knuckles just disappears. They just become one ball of tense anger and just utter fear that the Icelandic government decided to test my mettle. I put a spider on me. Oh boy, Iceland, you are calling me on this one.
I mean, they are descendants of Vikings. You have to face your fears.
I will drink whatever booze they give me, Kessie. I will eat whatever fucking shark they force down my throat. I will do the weird Icelandic shit. I will even learn the language. They don't have a tradition around spiders, and I'm very grateful for that.
I don't think you can find spiders in any of our history story books, so...
Okay, that's good. Then I moved to the right place. All right, so I guess that means we need to randomly choose the next person. This time was Kessie? Neil. This time was Neil. All right.
That was the last time. By the way, since you said you don't have spiders in your Icelandic text, I just want to bring up that Sleipnir is basically a spider.
Sleipnir is not a spider. Stop with your... If you think a spider is dictated by the amount of legs and not by its vascular systems and its it's anthropology.
I'm sorry, octopuses are spiders of the sea.
So
Fuck
are
this.
crabs.
Yes. Fuck crabs. Fuck crabs. They look like spiders when the lights are off. Fuck crabs.
I'm just saying, we had stuff like in folkloric history where people were like, oh yeah, unicorns and stuff, they existed. And then it turns out it was just a rhinoceros. Just because people of the times didn't have a different word for it doesn't mean it couldn't have been something else.
I don't think there are any mentions of spiders in Icelandic history.
Okay, well, we'll see. So randomly chosen is me for next time.
Ooh.
And I will come up with a good theme, and I will post that in our chat in a bit.
Hang on. Isn't the next one? Aren't we supposed to have a guest at some point?
Yeah,
I think
because
so.
this episode is episode 9.
Yeah, you're right.
And next episode's episode 10, which is when we should have a guest.
All right, so you don't get.
So I will sort a guest.
Yeah.
So next episode we'll have a guest.
Oh wow!
And they will choose a theme for us. And then the episode after that, I will choose a theme. Problem solved. Yes, nailed it. God, great. Yes.
I'm glad your random number generator told you that.
Yes, my random. Well, I just rolled. I have evidence of it. I'll roll it again just so that you can hear the rolling. And I behaved, and I said my name after I did the rolling and not before.
You're learning.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm trying to be a mature adult about it. So I will source a guest, and then we will do that. I guess that's probably it from us. We did the intro. We said our names because we're professional. I guess we'll see you in some time.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry to be talking about so many scary things.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about the spiders.
Fight your fears, people.
Bumblebees are scary.
Thank you for listening to 4 Top 3s. That one was too scary for me. If you would like to tell us what your biggest fears are, you can find us on Twitter at 4 Top 3s, spelled out with none of the numbers, just 4 Top 3s, as in if you were to spell that out. You can also find links to all of our social media at Blighthouse.studio. That is our website. It is going to be worked on in the future. Right now, it is hosting just a couple of links, but you can expect to see a lot of changes happening there soon as well. Go find us on Twitter if you want to stay tuned with any news updates and any progress on any of our other projects that we have going on at any given time. And thank you all for listening. We will see you all next episode. Bye.
This has been a Blighthouse Studio production. Thank you for listening. You see, looking up from the ground, blood-red clouds boiling across the sky.
You did ask me to bring the thunder.
Dejin! Help! I've got the chalice, please!
Well, if they're following you, then I guess that takes care of a loose end for me.
All of you feel the earth beneath you shake and crack and break.
I feel that I have failed both of you, and I am sorry for that.
This has nothing to do with you being a bad leader.
Do you want a countdown? Oh, I think I want a countdown.
I wanted
3,
to help. I always had good
2,
intention. I
1.
did not deserve to die.
Now.
The Lucky Die Podcast is a weekly 5e Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Join our adventure every Monday wherever you download podcasts by searching for The Lucky Die.